Hello, welcome to this week's video. In this video, I'll be making this top. I was inspired by this top. It's just very playful and girly. So I took my top from this inspiration from this photo right here. And right here, this high-waisted skirt is what I wanted to pair with that top. I've been obsessed with this skirt since I saw it. So, like I said, keyword inspired by. It's not meant to look exactly like this, but there's something I really loved about like the fabric of this skirt. So this is just me cutting out the fabric to try to figure out a pattern for this. I know definitely I wanted to break this up into like from what I saw from the photo of the skirt, it seemed like there was 3 parts to it, or at least 4. So since I didn't have a pattern for this, I was trying to figure out like how can I make that skirt that I saw in the photo. So this is me just cutting out the different this is the me starting out with the top portion, which would be like the high waist. So I just used like this ASOS dress, linen dress that I had that I never wore over the years as the lining for this. This is a very, very transparent cotton fabric, so it needed a lining. It was just way too transparent, so I decided to add the lining to it. So this is still just pretty much me working on that same top portion. It took me quite a bit to try to fit it to my body. There was just so much cutting involved in this project. I felt like I was cutting for a lifetime. But yeah, I think right here I'm still working on that top portion. So I figured like I needed like a front back. So in total it was I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think I worked on 6 sections, I think. Well, no, 3 sections, but front and back. So this is just me doing some more cutting. There was a lot of cutting involved in this project for some reason. I cut and cut and cut. I felt like I was cutting for a lifetime. Still some more cutting again. And right here is when I started to sew it up. I'm always nervous every time I have to sew. I don't know why. You would think by now I'm just used to the machine. But the crazy thing I find about sewing is I feel like the hardest parts always is like the amount of cutting you have to do to figure out the size of stuff. The sewing is actually fast. That's not the hard part. It's all the adjustments you have to make along the way to make sure that the item fits. So I'm done with, I think, a portion of that top part of the skirt. Then I'm continuing on to finish the next part. So this is still me working on that first part. Something I would have done differently was definitely if I was to work on a different version of this skirt, I won't have broken up the waist section into 2 parts. I would have just kept it one big section, because from the photo I see, now that I look at it a lot, it wasn't broken up. It's just one long piece. It goes from like under her bust all the way to about, I'll say, beginning of her hip. I didn't do mine that way. I broke mine to where my waistline was, and then I did another section for around my hips area, and then 2 more sections. So this is just me ironing out, because again, pressing is very important when you sew. It just makes everything look better. But overall, I don't think this was a very difficult project. I'm still contemplating if I want to go to like sewing school or not. I'm just going to keep working at this skill, because I know the more I work at it, the better I'm going to get at sewing. So that's the important thing here. It's just to keep practicing. So I think right now I'm trying to think of what part I was working on right here. I think this is me cutting out for the last 2 sections of the skirt, I think. Like I said, there was a lot of cutting involved here. But there was just something ever since that picture of that skirt. I've had that saved for a long time, and I really loved how the skirt was styled. I love that they paired that bralette, the black bralette, which is almost more street wear, with this romantic skirt. I thought that was like very unique in the way it was styled. I really liked that a lot. Maybe perhaps one day I might wear mine like that too. I don't know. We'll see. But ever since I saw that skirt, I've pretty much just been obsessed with the skirt. Of course, I didn't find the exact same material. I think that material she used or had in that skirt was like, I think a chiffon, and I also think it has like embroidery. Those flowers were embroidery, but I don't know. When I looked in my stash, this is the closest thing I could find. I like this fabric a lot because it's very light and airy, and it's pastel. Sometimes I wear very intense, vivid colors, but it's always nice every once in a while to just have colors that are just very, yeah, pastel, very light. But the little part I have left for this, I think I might use this to sew something for my daughter. So I'm still cutting. Like I said, there was a lot of cutting involved in this project for some reason. What portion am I working on? Okay, I think I'm working on like the hip area. Because remember I said from the photo that I saw, I think it was only 3 sections, but I did mine in 4. So I think this portion right here is the hip area. So just more sewing. Pressing again. I don't know, you all should let me know in the comment section. How do you think I'm doing so far? Like I said, I really, really feel the need to go to sewing school, but it's also, I don't know when I will fit that in. I'm still trying to convince myself I can do this without going to sewing school, so. But you guys should let me know, how are you feeling? Do you feel like you can tackle like any sewing projects? See me do it? Just keep in mind that everything you see me do most of the time on this channel, this is new to me. But like, again, I'm not using any store-bought sewing pattern or anything like that. I'm just sometimes just visualizing what I think is supposed to look like. Measurements, of course, you can always fit that to your body. Of course, it takes a lot more time to sew for that reason, but that's just how I like to do things. So I think this is finally where I've sewed like the waist portion and the hip portion. So I think now I'm trying to put the what's it called? The zipper. So I'm just sewing the zipper in right here. I have a zipper presser foot, but again, laziness to change my presser foots is like I have so many presser foots, but I don't know why I never change them out, only once in a while. The one I tend to use a lot is the, I think it's called a precision presser foot, which just help you line up your garment perfectly when you're sewing straight down. So sometimes I change it to that, but for the most part, I haven't used a zipper presser foot yet. It'll probably make the work look a lot better if I do. But what I'm most excited about with all this sewing is just how stuff fits, is the comfort. Because again, if you're someone who fluctuates in size and go up and down, like I tend to go up and down a lot for whatever reason. So again, I think I've moved on to making the top right here. At least I think this is the top. Yeah, I think this is me working on the top. I think the top wasn't my favorite part of this, but it was just fun to be able to work on using elastic finally. I don't think there's anything I've worked on thus far where I use elastic. So what I'm trying to do with each project is try something I have not tried before. I think that's the only way I can pick up some of these new skills. I already have in mind what I think I'm going to do for my next project. So this I don't even know what color that is, but right there is what I'm going to use for the lining of the top. That is something I've had for a long time also. So what I'm trying to do a lot of is recycle and reuse stuff. So I went through this phase of every time I clean out my closet, I would just give stuff away. But I'm not going to do that anymore. From going forward now, I'm just going to try to reuse them and incorporate the items I'm no longer wearing into something new. It comes in handy a lot. So remember for the skirt, I found like a linen dress I wasn't wearing anymore to use for the lining. And now for the top, I'm using the lining from this it was pretty much just like this cotton robe thing I had that didn't fit properly. So it's always nice to know I can always find fabric from other stuff I own. So this is me right here just cutting out the pattern for the top. The top, I definitely think I'll be making other ones for the future. I like the top a lot. And the top was fairly easy, I mean. This is me lining it up before I start sewing it. So that's me trying to figure out how to put the elastic. I mean, the first armhole I did, I don't think I did it right, but I ended up going back in to fix it. So how I figured out how to do the use the elastic for me is I pretty much take the elastic and put it around whatever body part I'm trying to measure is. And when I do that and I put it in the fabric, it's actually pretty accurate. And sometimes I give it just a little bit more elastic only because I don't want it to be too tight. Anything I've ever owned with the elastic, I tend to stop wearing them, or I take the elastic out because it's just so uncomfortable. When you're in pain, you can't, anything that hurts clothing wise in your closet, you're never going to wear it. I know this is not some people's reality, but unfortunately, like I said, I have thicker arms, like, and it can get quite uncomfortable. This is the same reason why I don't tend to wear a lot of blazers. I just is not comfortable. I have wide shoulders, so everything for me when it comes to clothes is all about comfort and how comfortable I feel, how it fits, pain, no pain. Even shoes wise, I refuse to wear high heels because I don't want to be in pain. To me, looking beautiful just means feeling comfortable. So I think this is me doing the bottom of the top. So this is the part that goes under my bust. I think the next project I work on, I really want to focus on lining and how neat the lining of the garment is. But one project at a time. Hi, hi, hi. Welcome to Nola the Sewist. I'm not in my shed, my studio working today because the weather outside is atrocious right now. Like, I'm not willing to be brave and go outside to go shoot, so shooting from inside today. But anyway, here's my latest project. It's a top and skirt. Material, this was cotton, 100% cotton, but I did put lining in this one because it's a very thin cotton. So this one definitely, there's no two ways about it. We know this one is for the summer. I love me a good cotton, a linen for the summer. And this one is just very girly and whimsical. I will flip this so I can show the whole outfit, but yeah, I like this one a lot. I just want you to see the bottom of it. But yep, this is it. So it's a high-waisted skirt and a drop shoulder. Well, I can actually wear the shoulder part two ways. I can actually raise it if I want to make it that way, or I can drop it this way. But yeah, this one was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed making this one. It's the kind of stuff I like to make. It's not my typical blue color, but this one is more on the pastel side, white. I didn't want to make something just all white, so I found this beautiful watercolor type effect on this cotton. I think I bought 2.5 yards of this from eBay. I actually did not use the whole thing, which is pretty nice. This one wasn't as much as a struggle like the last project I worked on. I will have to go back to that one at some point. I can't escape it. But yes, I really like this one a lot. I'm going to show how I would be wearing this with different things, what purse I will carry, what perfume I would probably, when I look at this outfit, what perfume I'm thinking, jewelry and all of that. I'm very lazy with jewelry, so I just buy the legit stuff that won't fade. Most of the time it's either solid gold or gold filled or like sterling silver because I'm too late. So if you see me most of the time when you're like, oh, it's always the same jewelry, that's because I don't take these off. I shower in these, I do everything in this. I go to bed with these. I'm lazy with jewelry. I just don't like the on and off, so I just prefer to buy the real thing that lasts. Like, if you do that, you don't have to worry. Well, of course, sometimes when I'm going out to an event, I will switch out the earrings, the bracelets, all of that. The crazy thing is I have many different pieces, but for whatever reason, I'm just so lazy about it. It's crazy. These or what I wear to go get my son from school. This is just what I wear on a regular days, a regular daily basis. If you see me at the grocery store, it's like this. They never come off because, again, I'm one of those people that actually react to what's it called? You know, one of those people that it starts to hurt if they wear something that's not real. So I don't always like the prices of solid gold. So my go-to a lot is just gold filled. That solved the problem. It looks gold. Um, it won't, I don't have an allergic reaction to it, or just sterling silver. That's my options. I tend to like rose gold a lot. It's very difficult to find rose gold. I find that sometimes true gold is too intense for me. Like my ring is rose gold and I think it works very well for me, but it's very hard to find rose gold. Most of the time I just find gold. So anyway, that's why you always see me in the same thing. One of these days, I promise I will switch them out, but I just like how pearls look next to my face. I feel like it brightens my face up. So, but yes, I do miss my blue, but every once in a while I have to try different colors. But this one, yeah, this is gonna be very comfortable. This is just something I will wear about in the summer very comfortably, not tight, not usually when I have anything that has elastic. I dread wearing it because again I have thick arms and it always hurts. So this time, since I made it myself, what I did is I gave myself a lot of room in the arm. Sometimes when these companies make stuff with elastic in the arms, sometimes it's like this and I can't breathe in the outfit and it hurts so bad. So most of the outfits I own that came with those elastic band in the arm, most of them I took them out because I can't not wear them because of that, but they're also very uncomfortable. So I had to fix that situation. No regrets, but this one, I like it a lot because like right here is not too tight. It feels very comfortable. And again, it's elastic, but again, not too tight. Again, this is the whole joy of making your own clothes. You make it so it's comfortable. This is very comfortable. Very. See? Braless, no issues. I made sure I lined the inside. The skirt, like I said, I lined that also. So, um, so here's what I'm thinking. If I were to wear this, I think, I'm gonna grab my bag, which bags I'll probably wear on this based on the colors and stuff. I think most likely probably this one. This is one of my favorite bags. I think this would look very, the only thing I don't like about this is staining. I'm always having to clean it, but I feel like this is perfect with this. It's cute. I think this is cute with this. Yep, I think that's perfect for that. Or another option also is, I can either do this one also. This is one of my favorite ones. I purchased this, I think I bought this when I bought this in Vienna. I just happened to walk into some mall over there. I saw this. I'm like, oh, I like that bag a lot. So this is a Korean brand. It's spelled OSOI. I don't know how you pronounce it, but there's some other one of their bags I want to buy. I really like their bags a lot. This one, the most exciting thing about it is that such a fun purse. Or another option would be this one, a pop-up pink. I wear this one a lot. Very cute. And of course, I think I'll probably just wear this probably with just white little heels or something like that. But yeah, just ready to go walk around for the summer. Go shopping. do whatever it is, quick, no problem. But yeah, those are what I will style those with. Jewelry, I'm very minimalistic most of the time. I feel like this is good enough. Some people look good with the really bold pieces and stuff, but you just have to know yourself. I don't think I'm one of those people, so this is why I keep it simple. I'm a pearl girly any day. I like studs most of the time. Sometimes I'm trying to think of when I ever wear what's it called, hoops. Not very often at all. I don't tend to do hoops a lot. So in terms of this and the inspiration, I will post the two pictures that I saw that I combined. It's not all in the same outfit. It's one top from one place, well, inspired by. It's not fully it 100%. And then the other one was this high-waisted skirt I saw somewhere, and I did my own version. Let's see. So for the skirt, as you can see, I have like these ruffling effect, but I left them exposed because I find them interesting with that texture. I was thinking of should I just cut it, but when I looked at it, I'm like, I kind of like it like that actually. I think it looks interesting. A long skirt. Let me try to see if I can show the whole thing. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Just fun for the summer. So in here, I made sure I lined it because, like I said, this is very transparent, very light cotton. So the bottom, for that effect, I didn't line the bottom because I liked how they look. But yeah, it's just a fun one for the summer. I'm going to change the bottom to see what other ways I will wear this top. The good thing is I can wear with other stuff, and I'm going to show that right now. So this is the other way I would style this. This is a white. So this is the next way I would wear this. With my favorite pants from MOT Label. I love these pants, but as you can see again, just a little cute look for the summer. Nothing complicated at all. So the goal of this whole learning to sew, right, was to make stuff that fits into my wardrobe. And as you can see, this will definitely work in my summer. I mean, this would definitely work for me in the summer with other stuff I have in my wardrobe. Yep, very simple. Just something to throw on real quick and just go. I like easy, non-finicky outfits. Just simple. Just like that, you're done. Pants, top, finished, all done. I partly want to show, I know when I watch YouTube a lot, I see a lot of streetwear when it comes to Black women. It would be nice to see sometimes more whimsical and just very, what's the word I'm looking for, outfits. But yeah, I see a lot of stuff with streetwear and stuff. I love streetwear too, but there's also a lot of other Black women also that are just very girly, and I just feel like a lot of people love streetwear a lot. I don't know what that's about, but I suppose it looks good on some people. Not everyone can pull that off. At this point, I think I've been working on my wardrobe for at least 3 years. So I know what works for me, what doesn't. Not saying that streetwear does not work for me, but it's not authentic to who I am, I feel like. I feel like this is more me. Relaxed, girly, friendly. That's more me. So yeah, I'm going to take some pictures and show you Oh, before I do that, like, so, like I said, scale of 1 to 10, complexity with this. I think we're like at a 6. This was a fairly easy one to work on. Like, I don't think anything was necessarily difficult about this one at all. This is my first time putting elastic in anything, so I'm proud of myself for figuring that out. Good job to me. In terms of next project, I don't know yet. Again, you know how this goes. I have to look in my stash of fabrics. First for me is the fabric, then I figure out what do I want to make with it. But I'm thinking next one, I'm thinking a long sleeve dress, and I'm thinking something with chiffon. So I'm expecting that to not be very easy, but it's time to take this up a notch. And I'm also thinking of doing something with shirring. If you don't know what shirring is that technique they use on fabric, so you don't really need darts or anything like that. It kind of like, it's that thing that I'll show a picture of what shirring is, but I'm very I really want to try that on something. I've been seeing videos of people do it online. I own some pieces that have that in there. The good thing with it is because it expands, even as you gain weight or lose weight, you can still wear it. That's the good thing about sharing. So definitely want to practice with that. I already have everything I need to do that. It's just that it takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of what's it called? The elastic thread. It takes a lot to make one outfit, so I don't know if I have enough elastic thread. Per usual, I think I underestimated how much I need, so I think I need to go get more. But yeah, I'm thinking like a dress, something with chiffon, with ruffles. I've been dying to do ruffles. Like, I think it's time. I want something with ruffles. You know how I feel about ruffles. But yes, let me know how you think, not how you think, what you think of this one. Would you wear this? I know there was a time, the good thing about approaching 40 for me is there was a time I would be so self-conscious. Oh, I can't wear this. Oh, belly, blah, blah, blah. At this point of my life, I'm just like, I think it looks cute. That's just how I feel. I think it's cute. Don't be afraid to show you a little bit. Like, I've carried 2 whole kids in this belly, so it is what it is. I think it's still cute. Every time I see a woman outside that just owns everything and is unapologetical and they just accept stuff, I'm just like, hey, good for you. I'm here for it. I love that you don't care what people say about you or how you look, anything like that. I'm trying to adopt that same type of mindset because 2026 for me is about me being comfortable, and I'm comfortable, so that's all that matters. But yes, I'm going to go take some pictures. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification button so you can see more stuff I'm working on. Oh, before I go, so what I'm thinking for this particular look is giving me, for the summer, this is what is giving me. This is one of my favorite like perfumes. I use this thing all the time. Like, every time I use it, people are always like, that smells so good. It's one of my favorite. Like, I didn't try some of the other ones. I still will, but my favorite, this is what this is seeming like to me. Yes. Okay. See you all next project. I don't know what it's going to be, but we'll see. We're gonna look through the stash and see what exciting fabric we find. That's chiffon. Alrighty, bye. See you next time.